So, a little different video today. I painted a mural. Alright, so this mural was actually for my sister's friend's son, who's about 10 years old. He really loves camping, and so he wanted his room to look like this giant campsite with mountains and the ocean and campers and trees, all the good stuff. Now, this was actually my first time doing a mural like this. I've done a couple murals before, just for different businesses, but never something that the goal was like realism. Before it's always been something kind of cartoony, and that was fine. It's definitely within my abilities, but this one was a bit of a challenge. So every day before I'd go out to their house to paint, I would watch a ton of videos on how to paint realistic murals, or just like acrylic tutorials of just like how to make the mountains look far away, or make it look like the mountain is full of trees, all that kind of stuff. It was very helpful and definitely gave me the confidence to do this. Now, in the room itself, I actually painted all 4 walls. In the video, you can only really see 2 of them for most of it. I do turn it at the end to show you the 3rd wall. And the 4th one was just one color. I just painted it blue to match with the rest of the room. So in this part, you can see I'm laying down a bunch of like base colors. This was one of the tips I saw when watching all those videos about murals. I end up going over all of these and changing up the tone drastically, but it just helped me visualize where everything was, put it all in place, and just, helped me lay it out in my mind for sure. I ended up finishing the whole mural in about 4 days, and boy was I exhausted by the end. Like every day I would go back to my sister's house just covered in paint, I'd take a warm shower, and I'd just go straight to bed because like these were long days. Just get up in the morning, go paint, come home. I was so tired. After I laid the base colors down, it was time to get to the clouds. So throughout this painting, I moved from the stuff in the furthest back to the front, because that just makes sense. This is my first time really painting clouds, so that was a fun thing to learn. And they look fine. After the clouds, my next step were those mountains furthest in the back. I lightened those up a bunch because they looked way too green, way too saturated. I needed to cool them down, so push them further back into the distance, which was kind of good. I definitely could have added a little more blue to them, but it ended up turning out okay. Then we moved on to the second biggest mountains. I made them way too yellowy green because I completely forgot actually that I had bought a green paint, so I just mixed my own and it turned out really yellow. But it was fine. Once again, it was something that I just accepted, and because I didn't want to go over it again. Doing all the texture took so long that I was just like, no, this is fine. The path part was pretty easy. I just wanted to make it look textured. It's actually supposed to be like a little camping spot, like a little parking lot. You park your RVs and stuff there. And it turned out okay. I actually went and I found a toothbrush and I used that to put speckles all over it that you can't really see from this distance, but it looks kind of like sand. I also go later and add some grass parts. But then we moved on to the mountain, which was the biggest part of this whole piece and definitely took the longest. It took me hours just going through, and again, you can't really see it from this distance, but it's just very textured and just kind of dotting over and over and over all over to give that tree look to it. But I'm very happy with how it turned out. It is my favorite part of the whole piece because it just, I don't know, it looks like what it's supposed to look like. So now you're finally getting to see a little glimpse of that third wall over there and this side of the mountains that I haven't really been able to show yet as I paint the ocean. I do end up changing this a little bit because when my mom came in and saw it, she was like, oh no, it looks too green. So I added more blue to it and did not record. But there's like a little dock going around, which I added boats to later on. And I was just trying to get like the reflection of the trees, but apparently I did it too much, so I do come back and change that later on. Last but not least is a close-up of me painting a bush in the foreground. I painted it like a bright red. This is like the brown underneath, and then I paint the red on top just to give it that dimension. And the red is just to separate it from all the green around it. And then there you have it. Sorry I don't have better final pictures of it. The lighting in the room was really bad, which actually made it pretty difficult to paint most of the time, but I also didn't really have time to wait for the lighting to get better because I left town like the next day. But that's basically it. Hope you guys enjoy this video. I know it's a little different than normal, but if you did like it, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.